Hello, friends, and welcome. Welcome to another episode where I review vintage beauties from my collection. This time I have a special set for you. It is the most expensive set in my collection. I bought it near Christmas last year, and I had a special episode of unboxing. And now it's the time to make a review of this wonderful Soennecken 111 Extra from the 1950s. This is the Soennecken 111 Extra, and this is a mechanical pencil. The code name of the model is 11. Well, I bought this set in December last year, as I told you, and I paid for it 1,677 lays or 344 euros or 419 American dollars, including the shipment. And I think I did okay. The seller contacted me directly and he told me he had a special model. And believe it or not, guys, I was looking for this model for approximately 3 years since I started collecting fountain pens. And I was amazed because it was in this incredible condition. And the fact that it came with a matching mechanical pencil was like a bonus. And of course, I think I paid a reasonable sum of money because these sets are worth at least 1,000 euros, I believe. Although they are not restored, they are as found in the wild. I think that I made an effort and bought them. I even loaned a part of the money because for me it is a large sum of money. I'm not a wealthy collector. So, returning to our beautiful fountain pen, I will refer first to the fountain pen and then we will look at the mechanical pencil. First of all, who is Soennecken? Maybe you've never heard of this company, but it was quite a large and popular company. Practically, it's an old manufacturer of office products, and it was founded by Frederick Soennecken in 1875, and the name was registered as a trademark in 1905. So, guys, it is well known for office supplies. I have here a hole puncher, and I think it dates from the 1950s. We can see F. Soennecken Bonn. It was manufactured in Bonn, Germany, and a lot number, I believe. Some of the older models of these hole punchers had also imprinted DRGM, and that means that they were from the Second World War era. I'm sorry, I didn't use this for a long time and it's dusty. So look at this product. It has approximately 70 years and it works like a charm. It is perfect functional. So Soennecken was not only a writing instrument producer, but also it made a lot of office supplies like these hole punchers, rulers. Practically, it produced even office furniture. So think about a large company. This is a product of the 1950s, but not a usual product. This was the top of the line they offered, and this product was made between 1952 and 1954, so only for 2 years. That's why it is a rare product. Not many of them are still on the market. And the Soennecken Extra 111 was the response of Soennecken, a direct competitor of the famous 140 Mont Blanc line. This particular example is a Meisterstück 146 from the 1950s made in celluloid. So they were direct competitors, and you can see their dimensions are quite similar. So a direct competitor of the 146, because this is much more smaller than the 149, the Diplomat from Mont Blanc. I will leave the Mont Blanc aside, and let's return to the Soennecken history lesson. Unfortunately, in 1967, this German manufacturer had to close its doors because of the ball pen boom that swiped all the industry. Unfortunately, it caught them off guard. They didn't invest in a new writing instrument like the ballpoint pen, which was a cheap writing instrument, and it had a bad effect on all the fountain pen manufacturers. Some of them survived. Unfortunately, Soennecken had to close its gates. But now we are not talking about the 1960s, but we are talking about the beginning of the 1950s, a period when they released this beauty. It is my opinion and the opinion of other collectors that probably this was the best fountain pen made in Germany at that time. Of course, it is up to debate, because here I have another product that stood the test of time. This product, the Mont Blanc Meisterstück 146, is still in production. It is a classical look over the fountain pen. It was a bold move from Soennecken to use this celluloid. And we will talk about this celluloid because the trend in Germany in those days, in the 1950s, the German market preferred a simple black Schwarz fountain pen with gold trims. So these products were quite exotic for the German market, and this color pattern of the celluloid. Let me give it a zoom because it's a wonderful color. And let's give it a source of light. Yes. So this beautiful pattern is called herringbone. So the pattern is herringbone. And the color, I think that this set is a dark tortoise shell. This particular model was also available in light tortoise shell, rosewood, sea green, and silver, all in this pattern of herringbone. But they were also available in a simple black finish or a black with silver hash. As you can see, it is a wonderful celluloid material. And to my knowledge, I've seen this herringbone pattern only on the Soennecken products. I might be wrong, but it is quite a unique material. On the barrel, let me show you, we have engraved Soennecken 111 Extra. This Soennecken was available in three sizes: Soennecken 111 Extra, Soennecken 111. I might be wrong, but I think it's superior. It was a smaller version of this one, and it was available also in a lady size. So this, guys, it's the biggest of them all, and its designation or its name is Extra. And we have another engraving, Bunders Adressbuchers. I don't know what this stands for. Maybe it was the yellow pages of Germany at that time. I'm not so sure. Or maybe it refers to Bucher, a library with books. I'm not so sure. Maybe you can help me, guys. The cap unscrews. We will look at the cap right now. It has two rings, one narrower and one thicker. And it holds one of the design highlights of this model is this interesting faceted clip. And when you see it on long distance, you think it's a quite simple clip, but it has no more than seven faces. So one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. This is certainly well made Art Deco clip. If we are talking about the clip, let us admire also the smaller clip of the mechanical pencil, but you can see the same design, the same faceted design. On the top of the cap, we have this simple rounded ending. No imprints, no logo there. Speaking about the logo, I will leave a photo with the Soennecken logo used throughout the 1930s and the 1940s. The cap unscrews and it reveals a wonderful big golden nib. Look at this beauty. So this beauty is worth all the money. 14 karat 585 Soennecken. You can see we have a crown there and it has five beds. Interesting five beds. One, two, three, four, five. So you can see it has five beds. Okay. The nib with the five beds on the crown was available only for their top nibs because I have here, guys, Soennecken. This is from the 1940s. A beautiful fountain pen. But you can see the steel nibs has a crown, but only with three beds. Okay. So you can tell about the nib from the crown. Let me return to our beautiful fountain pen. And this gorgeous nib is by far the most interesting and sophisticated nib in my collection. And if we zoom on it, we can see the beautiful tip. Yes, you guessed it right, we have an oblique nib. But not only a simple oblique nib, but an oblique double broad. And on this particular model, we have the back, which is a plain looking feed, an ebonite feed. We have BBS. I'm not sure where in German what they stand for, but I think it's a double oblique broad nib. A wonderful nib. The Soennecken pens aren't famous for their nib flexibility, but this is a quite responsive nib. And when you look for flexibility in a stiff nib, you go for the oblique version. You will see what I mean when we will do the writing sample. Although it's not quite well shown in this light, I will try to put the source of light behind it because I want to show you that it has an ink window. Let me let me see if I can manage to show you. Yes, you can now see it has a transparency in this celluloid material, and if you put it on a source of light behind it, you can see the level of ink that is in the reservoir. And this is quite a nice feature for this wonderful pen. And another feature that is quite interesting, it is the click mechanism, and it gets some time to get used to. I must confess that I didn't make enough research to get used to this type of piston filler, but I know for sure that it's a piston filler with a cork seal, and I know that it's a special mechanism called the click mechanism. So the Soennecken piston has a locking mechanism in the sense that the piston cap is first pulled out. So I will show you. Is first pulled out, and this is the part that I'm not familiar with. To release. So I think I'm not trying to pull it, but I think it's pulled like this, and it should be a click here. I'm not so sure, or maybe I'm doing something wrong, and maybe in the comments you can guide me how can I fill this special piston filler. The cap is first pulled out like I shown you to release, and then twisted to fill with when the pen is filled. So here, and I should twist it, but no, I don't hear the click. I'm doing something wrong, or maybe the mechanism is damaged in a way. Maybe you can tell me in the comments, guys, and I really appreciate your help. The piston cap snaps back into the locking mechanism and it makes a click sound. This system was developed like a safety measure. When you hold it in your pocket, you don't accidentally turn it on and spill the ink in your pocket. Some people consider that the cork, the wood cork, is the only weak point of this fountain pen, in the sense that you should always make sure that it's inked or filled with water to prevent the so-called cork shrinking effect. And this is it, guys. This is our fountain pen, our beautiful fountain pen. Incidentally, like a coincidence, the main competitor, the Mont Blanc, had also an interesting filling mechanism that it used only on its high Meisterstück line, and it's the so-called telescopic piston filler mechanism. I think it's the only patented filling mechanism of the Mont Blanc. Unfortunately, they kept it till 1959 on their Meisterstück line. Let's leave the competitor aside, and we will return to our celluloid fountain pen. It certainly gives an impression of a well-built fountain pen. That is, of course, because it feels quite heavy in the hand, and this is the fact that the filling piston mechanism is made out of brass. But also, some people said that this celluloid is quite thick in comparison with other celluloids used on fountain pens. So it gives the impression of a well-built fountain pen. And it's not only the impression, but look at this beauty. It lasted for 70 years with no cracks. Even the micro scratches are barely visible. So it's quite a well-built fountain pen. Maybe you are not on board with me saying that this was the top of the 1950s fountain pen, but it is surely in the top three of the German pens made in that period. If we look at it, it certainly has a bigger nib than the 146 of that period. And it's quite wonderful looking fountain pen because of this herringbone pattern. It's quite a nice pattern. Speaking of the dimensions, I will leave the dimensions of the fountain pen on the screen. And let's have a look at the mechanical pencil. I'm not so sure that it's in a working order, and I'm not quite familiar with it. I think it opens through this part. It certainly needs a restorer to see it restored. I'm not so sure what mines it uses. So this is, guys, the, let me zoom on it. This is the interior of the mechanical pencil. You can see metal everywhere. This was affected in time, a little bit of rust, but this is the system. I think let's look at the celluloid they use. So look at it. It is quite thick material, a qualitative piece. Again, we have engraved Soennecken 11 and that bookstore or Bundesadressbucher, like an address telephone book. I'm not so sure. Maybe you can help me if you are familiar with this 1950s institution. Okay, and let me show you the mines. They are they are introduced through this part, and I think this had a rubber, an eraser. Now I will put back the body. Look, this is the size of the reserve for the mechanical pencil. I'm not so sure if it is still in production, that reserve. So this is the mechanical pencil. Of course, I will leave also its dimensions on the screen for those of you who are interested. Quite a nice mechanical pencil. And I certainly believe that this is a rare fountain pen, but it's much rarer as a set, including you can see the matching herringbone pattern in that dark tortoise shell color. And now, guys, I have one more treat for you. When I bought this set, it came in this original etui, but it's not an etui for the 111 extra. It is a etui for a Soennecken 362, but also for a set, as you can see. So, guys, now we will do the writing sample. And for the writing sample, I've chosen a custom-made ink. It all started from this Faber-Castell pink ink, an erasable ink, and I added a small quantity of the Parker Quick ink, and it developed in this dark pink ink, which has become like purple color, but we will see about that. So I'm sorry, guys, I can't yet demonstrate to you the filling mechanism. So I have to pull on this, and I have to, I don't know, to find its spot, and then I have to rotate the piston knob in a certain direction, and then it goes back with a click motion. But I don't know how to do that, and I hope that I will get to it in a few weeks. And I certainly read on the internet that you can remove this section with the nib. The same you can remove a pelican section with the nib. So using a tissue, you can take this out, but I was afraid to do that also. So I'm sorry. I hope you understand me. This isn't like an expensive item from my collection, but this is an unique one. It's my Grail pen, and it still remains my Grail pen. So I think that it is the only fountain pen that I want to buy in different colors, because I am amazed of this nib, and I'm certain that it is an oblique nib, and this is the charm of it. But I fell in love also with this material. It is a gorgeous material, and I hope, guys, that you would have the opportunity in your lifetime to buy a pen like this, and you will thank me later, because you will be amazed as I am of this wonderful writing instrument. I will leave this aside. Of course, you can post it, but why would you do that? You can post it quite well and use it quite well. In this lighting, you almost can see the transparent ink window. This means that this isn't inked, and I'm getting worried because in time the cork will surely shrink, but it is what it is. First of all, let me change the angle of the camera, because I want to show you the writing sample as good as I can. So I hope we have enough angle for you to appreciate how this beautiful pen writes. So I have here a Soennecken extra. I'm sorry, not extra, but 111. So the model is Soennecken 111, but the extra is the extra size, and the other is called Superior. So this is the other smaller version that I was talking at the beginning of the video. It is a wonderful celluloid made in Bonn, Germany, between 1952 and 1954. I have some sources that give another variant between 1951 and 1955. So whatever the time period, the 2 years or 4 years, it was certainly made in limited numbers. It has a beautiful 14 karat 585, and this is an oblique double broad, a nice nib. And let me show you. So look, this is what I want you to see. It's a stiff nib, but because it has this oblique cut to it, we have some line variation for sure when I do these lines. Let's call it not a flexible, but a semi-flexi, because this for sure is not a flexi nib. And let me show you by doing the pressure test, and I hope you can see. Okay, here no pressure, and here we have the pressure, so definitely we have a line variation. Okay, let's put it like this, and here we have the line variation. You can see we have a juicy nib. When I don't have room for the little fox But till we reach the little fox, let me show you a signature. Quite nice. Guys, it glides on the paper. It's wonderful. Okay, let me do also a reverse writing with it. Look, reverse. I'm quite amazed because it doesn't scratch in reverse. Reverse mode. Of course, we can see we have a little bit of ink flow problem, but this I think is due to the fact that I need to dip it once more in the ink. Okay. And now, guys, I'm ready to talk about the quick brown fox that jumps over the lazy dog. This, guys, is a wonderful writing instrument with a simply gorgeous nib. I must tell you that this is the favorite fountain pen in my collection, not because it's the expensive one, but because it really stands out among other fountain pens in my collection. Maybe you've seen my top three fountain pens from the Applebaum series. If you don't know Applebaum, check them out. They are a luxury writing instrument store in Holland, and they invited me to do a video where I told them my first three. I cheated a little bit. I told them my first six favorite fountain pens. But at that time, I didn't own this beauty. And maybe I am exaggerating a bit when I say that I will trade those six fountain pens for just one Soennecken with this gorgeous nib. Don't get me wrong, I love oblique nibs, and this double oblique broad nib is wonderful. This celluloid is wonderful. When I will learn about how to operate this mechanism, I'm sure I will think of it all as wonderful. But till then, guys, I wish you to have a nice day wherever you are. I hope you've enjoyed this review of this fountain pen. When I am uploading this video at the end of February 2021, it is the only review on YouTube of the Soennecken 111 Extra, and it celebrates in a way my journey through YouTube channel. I started this channel almost 1 year ago on the 1st of March 2020, at the beginning of the worldwide pandemic, and it gave me this opportunity to stay home and to invest my time in sharing with you my small collection. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to see unique fountain pens, unique writing instruments reviewed on my channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel to support my activity. I thank you for your time. We will see you at the next episode. Until then, bye bye and God bless.